Um, right, so basically, this is for my final end of year project for university. The work that I've done, I'm just going to be presenting it to you using this presentation. Um, and what I've tried to do is produce some things that you can take on and use to your benefit, hopefully. Um, I can just crack on. I don't know if this is gonna. There we go. Um, you that's the brief that I set out for myself. Um, don't really need to go into it too much, other than the fact that I just wanted to consult with you guys and my dad to sort of not rebrand, but reinvigorate the band's virtual presence, as I feel like you guys produce really good music and it could be heard by a wider variety of people. This was what I've done over the project. It was just, this is all really for purposes of getting my stuff marked. This was how I started it off with you guys when I asked you the series of questions. Um, I gave you some outcomes and inputs that I could potentially work on, and you came back to me with some really good feedback, which was appreciated. So thank you for that. And it led me to sort of uncover that there was a large a desire to play at festivals. That was a clear cut thing. Um, Sort of leaving the older music behind and trying to promote your newer music. That was a big thing for you guys as well. So I thought a good way to do this would be through creating a promotional portfolio, and I wanted to focus on some of the historical connections between you and the sort of festival culture and heritage that we have in the UK. So I started off with some research about festivals, what they are. Um, you know, this is just the research that I was doing. Sort of origins.
Be on the left.
Hmm. um, yeah, the origin 40s folk music sort of took a resurgence in the US in the 40s. Expressions of post-war generations were put throughout the music, and this sort of progressed through the 40s and 50s into the 60s with the counterculture movement. The Summer of Love, the Monterey Pop Festival, was the first sort of modern day music festival. This led to other festivals like Woodstock, Glastonbury, the Isle of Wight Festival, and this all sort of.
And Bath, we had a festival in Bath.
We did, yeah, yeah. The
Blues.
Michael Levis went to that festival before Glastonbury started, the year before Glastonbury started, and that gave him a little bit of inspiration, I think. That was just a brief outline of the origins of the festival, nicely linking into your sort of folky vibes that you do. I then started to look at some artists that had become famous or had made it in their music career slightly later in lives. Although you guys have had your success in the 90s, I thought, why not have a look at some people who've made it later, like this guy, Tuli Kupferberg, was he was part of a sort of experimental rock group called the Fugs, massive part of the counterculture era as well, playing at festivals through his 40s into his 50s, good stuff. Some other
There's hope.
there is hope. Some other artists, Debbie Harry, Bill Withers, both successful over the age of 32. Something that also came hand in hand with the birth of festivals was the psychedelic art movement, which came in sort of the mid 60s into the 70s, and it came hand in hand with the creation of the modern festival. Here are some examples of stuff. You got the stuff on the right, so Wes Wilson, which is, you know, it's nice, aesthetically pleasing work. So to try and like produce some work that could embed some of the band's history in a physical form, relating it to the birth of the festival and counterculture, psychedelic art. I produced a couple of posters. Um,
You'll love this.
Gibbo.
focus, Focusing
Yes.
on some of.
I can't see it yet. There he is.
What? I can see what?
Can you not-
It's slow to come up. Don't click past it too
I can
quickly,
only
Will.
see
'Cause
you four. I can only see the four of you.
Oh,
I can't see Simon.
if you go into the oh, I don't know how you do that.
Are you on a phone, Chris?
Yeah.
You might not see it on a phone. Go
Yeah.
to the next one, Will.
Okay. Anyway, I embedded.
Oh yeah, I can see now.
I embedded some history in there. You guys all know about that, though. It's, what the Glenn Miller thing that you explained to me, Chris, about the
Oh yeah.
the Somewhere Over England name coming from Glenn Miller. That's that was in 1944, when the folk reinvigoration in the States was happening. All sort of fits in and links to each other. This is another one that I produced with Chris and Dave on, which fits into the psychedelic art bracket as well. Don't know what you think about
It's
it.
like Frankenstein, Chris does. I like that. I love the text and the graphics. Just need to get slightly better pictures, I think, of the guys here. They look
I think they're lovely.
No, I look like Buddy Holly.
well, after the
You look like
after the plane crash, you mean?
after Mike Tyson hit him.
I didn't know what your reactions would be. It's all in the name of art and hopefully trying to get a bit of connection into the whole.
That's great. I mean, this would be great putting it out to see what people think. Just bung it out there.
Yeah,
You know,
very cool.
the idea of homespun, producing homespun stuff on social media is really, really popular. People
Yeah.
don't want the finished item
Mhm.
so much.
Yeah, it's all good. So not to get into anything too far yet, but these are both on the website, and I'm going to get some physical prints of them so you can purchase them off the website. There's a merchandise section on there which I've made for you. Following on from this, I sort of looked at some of the festivals that you guys could potentially play at, and my dad showed me a sort of list that you guys had already.
Yeah.
And I took some of the more appealing festivals from that selection. I sort of got a range of small community-run festivals to the slightly bigger ones that were more industrial. There's a selection of them. Some that attract relatively big names and some that, like the Bradford Roots Festival, really close to home, but it's in January and inside. But yeah, I got a selection of them. Each of the festivals, as you guys probably know, require a different field of specifications for the application, and they'll look for different things, but an electronic press kit or an EPK is something that will concisely put all of the things that most festival applications will look for together in one nice, tidy, clean space.
Good, yeah.
And as well as this, a large social following or social presence is going to make managers of festivals more inclined to put you in the lineup because they know you've got a following. And this is literally just about numbers and how many posts and reposts you get. But it sort of increases your chance of being taken seriously. But following on from this, I made a spreadsheet similar to one that you had, but it's got a little bit more detail in there. What to send in, which emails to send into, and the exact times that you need to apply to each of the festivals. You get them ranging from Cambridge Folk, which is Cambridge Folk and the Bristol Folk Festival are sort of relatively large festivals, and Crop Ready as well, down to Strawberry Fair, which is a community-run free festival that's organised yeah, by the community, and it's got quite a lot of background to it. But that was, and then you have that side to it as well. What you need to apply, who you need to apply to, emails. I'm going to send all of this stuff to you individually if you want it. There's a second presentation which sort of sums up all of the stuff that I've done, just with the visuals of everything. And moving on, I looked at what you already had existing for your work, your portfolio, the stuff that you already had. And you've got a great selection of music. You produce really, really good music. And you get the album artwork you make is quite good as well. But there's no diversity in what you make, which is, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to get more exposure, more followers, a good way to do this would be to diversify your content. And I started to gather information about how you would successfully apply to festivals and what would increase your chances of getting selected through an application process. So I sort of created a checklist of stuff that could help you guys during the process. This is a really good slide which has got a lot of information in it, but I'm just going to go through this one in a bit more detail than I have some of the others. The promotional journey is something that I've taken on personally throughout doing this project. Merchandise is a good way to promote your band and brand image. So the t-shirts that you guys have, the posters, stuff like phone cases, keychains, badges, it's all really good stuff to get the image out there. An official website where you can put all of your stuff in a space and have it look quite professional, and you can update it, you can post on it, you can do whatever you want with it really. An EPK or electronic press kit, as I've already mentioned, is something that's a key to when you come to applying for festivals and stuff, because you'll be taken a lot more seriously. It's more professional, and more diverse content. This is again what I was saying. Stuff like collaborations could be really good, videos that aren't related to your music, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later, for stuff that you can put onto a YouTube channel. Next, we've got the social media overhaul, which isn't as drastic as it sounds, but or like on your Facebook, and again, I'll go into all of this in a little bit more detail later in the presentation, but Facebook, you really need to be posting more than once a week to keep your followers entertained and following what you're doing. You don't need to put stuff that's relevant to your music on your Facebook. It can be a numerous amount of things, which I'll go into it later. Share and promote stuff that isn't part of your band, so other band stuff, similar bands in the area.
Yeah.
And try and engage and keep your followers your posts liked and commented by your followers. You can try and do this by sort of replicating the style of post that your followers are posting themselves or sharing themselves. I know it's a little bit more time consuming, but it can be really effective when coming to like people sharing your band posts. And something that is quite important is to post all of your stuff separately on each social media platform. So if you're wanting to put a video on all of your social media, post it individually on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram. Don't, when you upload a video, you can sort of group upload it, so you can have it posted on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube all at once. That is something that you should try and avoid, because it detracts from the amount of attention that each individual post will get. For the YouTube channel, there's some things that I've gone into, and again, I'll explain later. But stuff like group playlists, so you have groups of individual styles of video that you're posting, like music videos, and then maybe like kit reviews, band history. I'll explain more about that later. Need to upload more frequently, 100%. Tagging is something which is quite similar with Facebook, with Instagram and YouTube. It's where you tag relevant things to the post that aren't necessarily predominant in the post. So on a YouTube video, you tag, you know, hashtag somewhere over England, or you tag bands in Bath, or you tag a location that somewhere was filmed at, or you tag a person that you were doing something with, and it will, if someone searches for that word, it will come up with it rather than having to search for the specific.
Well, on the Instagram thing that I did with you yesterday.
Yeah, I'll come back to that.
You'll come back to it. It's just reinforcing what you said about the tagging. It's really helpful.
Yeah, but I get.
That's how people find you.
Yeah, no, I'll carry on. Yeah, and yeah, then again, post on the YouTube separately. The stage presence is something you guys already do have. I'm not denying that. You're really good on stage, but you got to, like, if you're playing at festivals, command the crowd, put on a show, have a visibly clear aesthetic that runs throughout the band. So maybe think of a theme for not necessarily outfits, but garments you can wear. So you could maybe style yourself similar to a folk band of the 40s. That would, you know, you get a constant aesthetic stuff, something like a bass drum skin, an SOE bass drum.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Just thinking about those suits, those 40s suits.
Yeah.
If we did, yeah, that's, you know, the baggy trousers and stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, like maybe like a Somewhere Over England bass drum skin, where you get the logo, you put it on a bass drum skin. Good. There's a band, there's a like a dub group called Gentlemen's Dub Club, who have a relatively similar logo to yours, and they have a bass drum skin, and it's really effective. Really effective. You sort of, it reinforces the image in your head when you see a stage performance. And moving on, I'm going to go into a little bit more of the individual elements of the social media and online presence. But before I do that, it's just some screenshots of the website that I've made for you guys. The link is.
This isn't Reverb Nation. This is one that you've created, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've created a website for you guys, an official Somewhere Over England website, which has got all of your music, videos, merchandise. It's got a constant aesthetic. These are just some of the screenshots of what I've done. It's got your bio. It's got places that you can stream.
Press OK.
I did. Places that you can stream your music. It's got a list of when your gigs are, that's connected to your bands in town. It's got links to all of your social media. The representation isn't your representation, but it's just there for an aesthetic for my project. And the riders, my dad's going to do a sort of mock rider thing for you. And then there's a music.
That's a technical and hospitality. So technical is, how many monitors, microphones, what sort of amps if we need them, and the hospitality is bacon rolls and Mars bars, that sort of thing. There's a music tab on the website as well, which has got some album artwork. Another place where you can stream and download 5 of your favorite songs. Apologies about that image on the album cover. It was effective, I thought, but my dad said some of you might not like it. And then there's a merchandise section which has got the posters, which I'm gonna, as I said, get printed, a few of them, see if they sell. They might not. And the t-shirts that you guys have. Question for you as a band: the website is on a domain of the place that I created it, which limits the amount of exposure you'll get with the website. if you type in somewhere over England, it won't come up. You'll have to type in the specific web address. However, you can upgrade the account. So, you know, these are the options you get. And for what you pay, I think you get a relatively good deal. You get analytics, site boosters, you get a professional logo, which, you know, you'll get a high-res logo. Yours is already really good. But that's food for thought. It means you'll get your own domain, which means that you can, I've also looked this up, the somewhereoverengland.co.uk is available as a web domain. So you could buy that web domain and have your website on that. So if someone typed in on Google somewhere over England, the website would come up first. But yeah, that's just stuff for you guys to consider. There's a 2-week free trial period with it as well. I just thought I'd let you know about that. So if you did want to try it out, you could. And another thing related to the websites was you've got some really good images, but the resolution of the images, I spoke to Dave about this briefly, they're not great resolution. So when you blow them up, they become kind of pixelated, which, you know, people might take you more seriously if you have some professional photos. So it's something to consider when this current climate is over, whether you want to pay someone or borrow a camera off someone. You know, it's just something that can be really effective and isn't that expensive.
We have got loads of high resolution pictures, a load of stuff that we did with at the Chapel Arts with Mark, and I don't know where you got your images from, because there are loads, but you know, we may want to move on from them.
They weren't.
I think that.
Yeah, they're good images, but they're not high resolution. So if you blow them up on a laptop screen or computer screen, they become quite
we have got high res though. We do. It just may be the ones you picked up on. But you know, the one thing that's coming over is if we want to push ourselves as a folk band, we don't want to. We need to have a look that is as a folk band. We currently don't look anything like a folk band.
Yeah,
very difficult to kind of make that work, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Again, that's something you could consider with a photo shoot, having that aesthetic posed as a band. Next we've got the electronic press kit that I made for you guys. It is a place where you have your music, some pictures, some information, and it's all on one page.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
It's quite concise. It's quite neat, quite pretty. I've just got some pictures of it here, screen grabs. It's quite a fluid page. The link was on the previous slide. If you want to go and have a look at that, you can. But I'll just quickly go through it. You've got embedded videos, some information, links to the website that I created you guys, links to the Reverb Nation, links to your social media. Something that I need to do.
Look up fatty.
And yeah, how can you guys utilize what I've done? That's what I really want. Oh, that's what I want out of this. I want you guys to get the recognition or the exposure that you deserve, because your music is really good. And what I've done is to try and help boost that.
No, it's good.
Yeah, really good. Well done, Will.
Yeah, well done, Will. Brilliant. And a very good presentation as well.
Yeah, so there's still a little bit more to go. But yeah, having this solid following online can make a difference between getting that spot at the festival that you want and not. Dave's been doing loads of really good advertising, I've heard recently, and that's really good, but there's other things that you guys could do to help sort of add to this. With Facebook, you've got to be posting at least once a week. You've got to be posting at least once a week. And you don't need to be posting content that's related to the band. Stuff about coronavirus, just say, I hope everyone's staying safe. anyone producing any music at the moment, we'd love to hear it, repost it. We'd love to post it on our page.
I think just on that, Will, what I've noticed people like is when they get involved. So things like, for instance, you ask them a question like a prize for, or you get a free download of or a free listen to the new track if you could tell us what year Somewhere Over England had their hit, for instance.
Yeah,
you just get, or like what other songs, it's 1991, first person to name 5 other songs that were hits in that year. Something like that. Something that makes, something that engages people.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's the thing on Facebook I've noticed.
Yeah, and
people enjoy putting their or showing their albums that they've been asked to sort of put up pictures of the albums that they like. People like talking about themselves and getting engaged, don't they?
Yeah,
I think maybe we could do that more.
100%. And it is about, on Facebook, it's definitely about engaging your followers so that they share your posts, and it's all to do with the engagement.
Yeah, it's good. Their wit, their intelligence. So if you put something on there that is witty and a bit intelligent, they'll share it if they like it and associate with it. So yeah, and I like the idea of not just bunging Somewhere Over England stuff on there. Anything that is relevant to the people we think might like our music.
Yeah.
So other bands particularly is a great way of getting new content. Just whack it out there. If it's appropriate. Don't put any like ska on there or reggae, but get some folk that we're into at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. And my dad mentioned the adage, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you start posting other bands stuff,
absolutely, yeah,
they're going to help you out as well. Number one thing is speak in the first person, plural or singular. You, we, as a band. Act like it's your collective social media feed. And as I mentioned earlier, try, if you can, it is time consuming, but if you can replicate the style of posts that your followers are reposting on posting themselves, then you're more likely to get attention with the stuff that you post on Facebook. I've summed all of the sort of important boxes up later in the presentation, which I can send to you guys as well, so that you have it all.
And the same applies to Instagram then, Will, probably more so.
We're getting there. For the diversity of content, I came up with some suggestions for what you could put on your YouTube channel. I was going to make a sort of example, but I didn't manage to get around to doing it in the end, which is a bit of a shame. But these are some of the things that you could sort of consider putting on your YouTube channel, which you could then make playlists out of. How-to guides, like a guitar riff from a catchy song.
That's good.
Drum riff maybe, Simon, I don't know. And something like Chris explaining the lyrics behind one of your songs, a new release, because I know the lyrics mean a lot to you guys, and that's sort of a key part of the music that you make. So if you explain to your followers what some of the lyrics mean, where they came from, that sort of stuff, that would be really good, really engaging. Behind the scenes stuff, so like a vlog style recording of you maybe doing a band practice. I know my dad takes pasties or whatever to the practice. It's quite informal and friendly. Kit reviews and gear reviews. You buy a new item of equipment, microphone.
Yeah, just talk about it. I like it. Yeah. It's a chatty style, isn't it? And it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe some historical connections, like the 91 success story, or like you mentioned the Glenn Miller thing, Chris. That's really interesting. Someone, your followers would be interested to know that. This is some things to consider when posting on YouTube. As I've mentioned before, group playlists, so that people can easily navigate around your YouTube channel and find what they want to look at. Tagging, as I mentioned, is really important because it means that you get more exposure. And YouTube's a weird one because you can just get lost in a YouTube pit where you just keep on clicking on the suggested videos, but the suggested videos come up through tagging. So if you tag the right things, then you're going to get your videos coming up on the side of videos that are kind of hardly related to your own videos. So it is really important. And if you post something make sure to promote it on your other social media. So if you post a new YouTube video, promote it on your Facebook page, promote it on your Instagram page. Make sure that you're letting the people that follow you know that you've got new content coming out on other platforms. That's all really from the YouTube side of things. And following on from this, I made you guys an Instagram page, which I've been discussing with my dad casually and briefly, but it's a great way to connect with younger generations, like people like me, because we don't use Facebook that much anymore. So Instagram's a good way to it's quick, fun, interactive, and the followers that you've already got from the page that I kicked off it's really good, really positive. This
38.
is 38 followers in a day or whatever it was. This is what it looks like. My dad's actually put a couple more posts on there at the moment, but this was when I kicked it off. This is a sort of style of thing that you want to post on there: quick, easy, interactive, fun posts.
So,
Um,
you know what the plan is for dinner tonight? What time?
Yeah, Mum's coming here about 6.
Okay,
And
sure.
then we'll choose an order.
And these are some of the things that you want to be looking for with the Instagram posts. Your sort of spontaneous but pretty photos. Right as a collective entity, we are our bassist's guitar is the example that I put on the page already.
I put the Simon's drum kit on there, and immediately 2 or 3 drummers, because I hashed it or tagged it with drum kit, drums, drummer,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
immediately people they're on it. And then I put one on there today, a little preview of Brand New Car, just about 30 seconds of it, and I tagged Valencia, I tagged Buenos Aires, I tagged Spain, I tagged it, and it's a bit like your advertising day on Facebook. It's almost free. You tag it and it'll pop out in these places so people can see it. So it'll be interesting to see what the reaction to it is.
Yes. Have a look at the WhatsApp. Sorry to butt in for a sec.
That's all right, no worries.
I've just sent you a whole load of the tags that I put on the YouTube videos.
Cool. That's good stuff. But yeah, the tagging's good. Anyway, I posted some times of days that the most popular for posting, like when you'll get the most attention on Instagram. Also, you've got to be posting more than Facebook because it's casual. If you post 3 times a week, sort of minimum, it just keeps on boosting the following. And then again, if you get a festival manager who is looking at goes onto your website, goes onto your EPK, then clicks the links to your social media and sees that you've got 250 odd followers on Instagram, that's great. It's all about the numbers. Anyway, to conclude, the stuff that I've made will hopefully put you in good stead, or better stead than you were previously, for festival applications for next summer. And alongside the web stuff, the social media presence should help you reach out to more people, get a larger following. Yeah, that's what I've been attempting to do. But I will.
There's a lot of work going into that, Will.
Yeah, you did very well. That's very good. Loads of ideas.
Lots of hours of work.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I can tell.
Has anyone got anything they'd like to actually? Well, I'll just say I will piece together. I've got a section of the presentation which is this bit, which is just sort of images and links to the website, the EPK, and then I have these are the posters. Just if you want to have a look at them in a bit more detail, the Instagram. It's just putting all of my outcomes in one place for you to see. And then these are the things about the social media. So what I'll do is I'll group together that bit of the presentation and send it to all of your emails so you can have that to utilize whenever you want. But does anyone have anything to say? Any comments? Anything?
Yeah, I've got one thing, and I think it's an issue we've been wrestling with for a long time. And it's how, because we had that success in the 90s, It's got nothing to do with folk. Now, should we try and leave that behind, do you think, and then promote from what we're doing now? Or keep hold of it? You know, I don't know. It's a difficult one because it's very, very different to what we're doing currently.
It is. Your bio that I put on your website is quite good, and the EPK, which says that, you know, you've changed your style of music. There's, if you guys want to check out the EPK, you can, but the description that I put, the description,
I think the biggest challenge is that out there are obviously thousands of people that really liked that song, and I think the challenge we've got is trying to educate those people that we've got new stuff and get them interested. Because if you can get that, even 50% of that interest is a lot of people on top of the organic stuff that we're generating now from all these other things. That's got to be. I don't see that leaving it behind is necessarily a good thing.
I mean, the other, I know what you're saying, and I, you know, we've been very, very reluctant to leave it behind. It does exist only in Spain, and now for some reason in Argentina and Buenos Aires. It doesn't exist over here. It never did. Somewhere over England. So we're kind of almost like starting from scratch in the UK. I think it's okay to have a history. I think it's a good thing, really.
Yeah, I think.
But we just have to make it really, really clear that things have moved on from there. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's what I tried to do. I sort of edited and coupled together some of your bios from the Reverb Nation, and if you want to have a look at it, I basically just said that you've sort of moved on. You've changed the style of music from that style that you were playing in the 90s to something that's slightly more meaningful and thought out, I suppose. But yeah, anything.
In many ways, the music's better. The music is better than if I ever fall in love. But for some reason, that landed with people. Now, I used to say that some of the new stuff might land with people. I think we've got to be lucky.
Absolutely.
But unless we've got those lines out in the sea, you know, with the fishing analogy, we're not going to get it.
That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I've tried to do with all of the content that I'm giving you guys. Hopefully, it's going to give you a platform to try and push your new stuff. That's what you wanted me to do at the beginning. You made that pretty clear. So hopefully,
I think that's really, really good. Yeah. And because the numbers count, what we need to do is do a bit of a benchmark now of where we currently are. Give ourselves some targets in terms of how many people, you know, we want to like us on Facebook, how many Instagram followers, and so on. And then we can chart progress, or you know, otherwise we're just chucking loads of work at it and we don't know where we are. So I think a benchmark would be useful.
I'm happy to take on the Instagram thing. And all it would require is one of you or all of you send me a pic every now and again, like Simon did with his drums, like Chris with your 12-string guitar, and I can just put a few words on there and pop it in, you know, 3 times a week.
Good. Any other thoughts? Anything at all?
No, that was very comprehensive, Will.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very good.
I realise I need to find out more about social media because I don't use it very much myself.
Okay.
But I'm going to find out more and become a bit more effective on using it.
Cool.
Well, if Simon, for example, if you had managed to get someone to film you when you were putting the drums to watching Spitfires, you'd only need 15 or 20 seconds of that. And a little bit of a caption. That's great. That would work brilliantly. That sort of stuff, simple stuff, homespun. You know, this is the making of, behind the scenes. That's what people like.
Okay.
You don't like just. Now I know. You know, I've been looking at quite a few things. They don't like the finished article. They like to know how it was made, what's behind it. You know, here's us, you know, mucking about here or there or whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for bearing with me whilst I.
Cheers, Will.
Thank you, Will.
No worries.
Hopefully, it won't be too long before we can bloody rehearse.
Yeah. Hopefully. Anyway, I'll pause the recording there.